not. Now we'll call the meeting to order. Oh, Eccles in here. Is that, maybe not. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to amend the agenda. If I got moved by Gail Williams and second by Richard Marcoux that council approved the agenda amended to defer item 7.3, which is the Young Mills Stone Church, to our December 4th meeting. Is that okay with both of you? Councillor Massey and Fancy send their regrets tonight, so they're not present. Okay, so as amended, all in favor? Carries. Is there a delay?
Yes, but I muted it.
Okay. Declaration of interest, pecuniary or otherwise? None? So approval of the minutes, moved by Richard Marcoux, second by Gail Williams, that the council approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole Public Works meeting and official plan amendment meeting and the minutes of the regular meeting dated November 6, 2023. Yep, go ahead.
The minutes of the Committee of the Whole 11-03 is incorrect. It should say take over janitorial services for up to 6 months.
Okay. Anything else? No. All right, so moved by Richard Marcoux and second by Gail Williams that council approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole Public Works meeting, the official plan amendment meeting, and the minutes of the regular meeting as corrected on the dates of November the 6th, 2023. All in favor? All right? Okay. That's corrected. So you make that adjustment, please.
Excuse me, just going back a second, there was also transfer of the Young Mills Church to the Township. That was deferred.
It says table. It should say table.
Tabled?
Where would it say tabled? I didn't see that.
In the minutes, instead of it saying carried, it should say tabled.
Carried.
Yeah, it does say tabled.
It does?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
All right. Too much paper here. Moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, the council approved the accounts payable reports dated November 17th, 2023 in the amount of $277,308.54 and $13,023.88. Any questions on that? Comments? No? All in favor? Carries. All righty. Ms. Weir, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. And you have a presentation for us. I guess we can't. Can you put it up on your screen? I said, will the people see it? No?
They can be following along. Yeah.
Okay, good, okay.
Why, thank you. It's been a few weeks since I've looked at this presentation, but we'll kind of work our way through it. So thanks for making time. Today I'm here just to share a little about what the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville Economic Development does. We're one of 10 you are one of 10 municipalities that counties supports. And if we go to the next slide, strategic areas of focus, we have 6 of them. And this was approved by Counties Council in January 2020. Then the pandemic started in March. So there has been some adjustments along the way, but overall we've remained true to these areas of focus. Some are complete while others are still in progress with a few done. While there's much I can share tonight, we only have so much time. So if you've got questions, if the Mayor, Your Worship, wishes at the end, I'm happy to address those. So going to building leadership capacity, leadership and capacity building slide. The first one is our annual Economic Development Summit. We were just chatting prior to. The summit was a great success this year with 216 participants registered. It was sold out with a wait list. For those of you that did not attend, mark your calendars for next year. November 22nd, 2024 is the date. On the next bullet there, we talk a little about the Business Support Working Group. This was a group that was formed during the pandemic and was extremely helpful. It included all 14 municipalities, which added Smith Falls in the region, with 6 chambers of commerce, 2 small business centers, 3 BIAs, 3 CFDCs come together to support local business. We will continue to utilize this framework for other pieces and hope to have another meeting with that group shortly. We do maintain a very large network at the counties with different neighboring municipalities and different support agencies. And you can see some of them listed on the slide there. Part of what we're doing today is building that capacity here tonight in the way of communicating what we do to help better engage and understand what your priorities are as a region. So just flipping to the next slide of business investment and readiness, investment readiness and investment attraction for business and industry. We support all the member municipalities with investment readiness. Whether you're large or small, we're interested in your priorities. We also provide investment ready profiles for each municipality. We are going to be updating these. They were previously in 18 languages and now they'll be coming down to 6, but we'll be back in touch to get further feedback from staff. That'll probably roll into 2024. On the next slide, starting with maintain a focus on municipalities with industrial and business parks. That we do, but we also look at our small business as well. We have spent a considerable amount of time with the doing FAM tours at the industrial parks, as well as dealing with information requests from the province. We do have some times where we partner with the St. Lawrence Economic Development Commission on some of those pieces. We continue to initiate new and foreign domestic investments as well. We work with the Ontario East Economic Development Commission, and we take out a membership, full package membership, which includes marketing aspects. Some of those things include going to different trade shows, and 2 of those are listed on your slide there. And while we had hoped to have 1 company from front of Yonge, they are hoping to get there for 2024. And this gives them exposure to wholesale markets in both the food industry and in some private label as well. Our brew is, as I mentioned, interested in coming to potentially future ones. Later I'll show a little bit more on the growth aspect. So under the next slide of business retention and expansion, through the pandemic, business retention was absolutely key for this region and making sure that we did outreach, and the Business Support Working Group was a part of that. We do regular visitations out into the communities, and you're included about that. We do 2 to 3 businesses per month. We also host information sessions that would be relevant to businesses throughout the region. This could be anything from workshops. Most of the workshops we partner with other agencies because that is part of their mandate, but ones are very specific, such as EV was one that we hosted, and we're planning to host another on that because there's funding available. We'll definitely take the leadership role in getting that, so stay tuned from that. On the slide, business retention expansion, there's 3 news that we did, and none of those were originally in our plan, but with the pandemic we did execute, so I'll just touch on those quickly. And on the business survey side is the slide you should be on now. We did business surveys annually throughout the year. We're going to be doing one at the end of this year, going into 2024. And you get a sense of, from years to year, what businesses are looking for or needing. At the time when this business survey was done in 2022, we had businesses, it went out to about 4,200 businesses in the region, and which is about an 8% response rate, which is fairly good. Front of Yonge, you had 98 businesses participating in that with about a 6%. 3% is okay in the way of reply on surveys. I know it sounds low, but that's just the way surveying goes. We'll continue to look at that and trying to increase, but it is a partnership with other communities and with other business support agencies to promote one survey so we get really strong data for the region. On the next slide for digital services, we've had about 1,450 businesses plus to partake in this program. 6,000 of that plus has gone directly to businesses in the region. And while the digital transformation grant deadline has gone by at $2,500, there's another grant called Canadian Digital Adoption Program at $2,400, which can be potentially open to home businesses as well. And some of the ones that did take interest in the digital transformation grant, you'll see in the top right corner of your slide, some of those have received that grant, and then you can see other ones that have received the digital adoption grant. So that is our digital services person that we've hired through the OBIA's funds has been able to support those businesses locally to you. In total, it's been about a $1.2 million additional revenues coming into this region, whether it's to support services or grants coming into businesses. So that's in total. Going to the next slide, small business. Counties agreed to manage the Leeds Grenville Small Business Centre delivery contract with the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade. And this involved bringing staff from the City of Brockville over to the county's team. We did a best practices to see if it made sense for us to do this, and we agreed to do this. The program itself, some of you are familiar with the Small Business Centre programming. It has business consults as well as Starter Company Plus and Summer Company. And the staff are now fully integrated with our team, and their actual physical location is in the same location, so at 32 Wall. So we've had some great opportunities where we're not overlapping, we're supporting each of the different areas. So once a business is through their program at 5 years, then they can come into our business retention program so that we don't lose sight of their potential growth. 13 businesses from Front of Yonge have received a business consult, with 2 businesses having been part of the Starter Company Plus program. Artfully Recycled and Arbrew Solar Brewery have both been a part of that program. On to the next slide, talent attraction and workforce development. We have been very successful in narrowing the gap between education and employers. And at one point when I started this job, there was not an understanding of what local employers were needing for training, and we've now had those opportunities to get education and some of our top employers together, and took advantage of a previous program called Pathways, and that was an excellent program. So now those relationships have continued. One of the things that we were heavily engaged with this year was when Canopy Growth out of Smith Falls did a resizing. We wanted to make sure those individuals that were employed there had an opportunity at other businesses in the region. So we participated in a regional job fair and made sure that other businesses were promoted, such as Burnbrae Farms and Vista, Giant Tiger, Northern Cables, all participated in that show. It was open to any business interested, but those are the big ones that came out. On June 20th, we partnered with St. Lawrence College and the Canadian Apprenticeship Forum program and did an employer breakfast. And this was to find businesses that needed to access funding for the apprenticeship program or get more information. That was well attended as well. So the employment agencies, we have 3 in this region, Keys, EEC, and CSE. You're kind of in that area where it's EEC, but some of your clients could go to Keys as well. So it's important that we make sure employers know about that. So if there's a place on your website to include them, please by all means do that so that anyone exploring it in front of Yonge has that opportunity. Under talent attraction and workforce development, these are, again, other areas that fall under these bullets. We're a member of the St. Lawrence Immigration Partnership, We are continuing to work and find opportunities to work together. Previously, we've highlighted the Immigration Partnership. We've also been engaged with Eastern Ontario Immigration Strategy and how we can bring immigrants from Ottawa region that's heavily densified, bring them into the rural parts and creating that opportunity for that. We've also agreed to be a part of a regional funding application that would support also immigrant entrepreneurs in the region. So stay tuned, we'll see how that one goes. Under marketing and communications, this is another area of focus for us. We maintain 2 websites, Invest Leeds Grenville and Discover Leeds Grenville. We've just transitioned the Discover Leeds Grenville to Thousand Islands Rideau Canal Waterways, and that's been rebranded. We have produced in past videos to help in promoting different companies, and we also maintain a YouTube channel. On that YouTube channel, all the municipalities are represented, including Front of Yonge. So videos of Front of Yonge are on that particular YouTube channel, so that there's a playlist for each municipality. So certainly you're welcome to connect to that. We do have a marketing partnership with the Ottawa Business Journal, and previously we've promoted last year we promoted the bridges and the big assets of Port of Johnstown, etc. This year we focused on entrepreneurs and doing the small businesses and focusing on, how you can be an entrepreneur in a smaller community that can be more embracing than a bigger urban center. Counties also, you were part of the IPM, International Plowing Match in 2022. That was part of what we delivered on. And some of what we learned at that was the amount of local products and local food products in the region. And I say that because I'm going to share a little bit more on that in a second here. Other communication, our main one is e-newsletter. You can see the list there. If you're not receiving it, please make sure you sign up and subscribe for that. Here's some of the different businesses that were profiled in that over this past little while. We encourage businesses to come forth if they wish to be profiled. We encourage that. And we often get requests for profiles again from whether it's Ontario East or from Ottawa Business Journal. So we'll go into our area of where we've got profiles and recycle them, refresh them, and bring them forward, because sometimes their timelines are very quick for turnaround. So we do utilize that. Our e-newsletter has about 2,500 subscribers, so it is a great communication device for us. And our primary one is outreach. It profiles a business, but also more important is funding that's available to businesses, as well as any workshops, and many of them are free related to business. Our next slide is on the business directory here, and we do it for the entire region, and you can see in front of Yonge you have 91 businesses listed, and thank you for the updates on those, greatly appreciated. And if you see anything wrong, please let us know, because we try to maintain, but we also recognize things are happening very fast out there. We have identified that we have got a mapping issue with Google. We're still working with our IT on that. And now that the summit's out of the way, I hope to have some answers coming forward on that. I left it with them, but I'll be following up. We're also working with our GIS to consider looking at other ways of mapping and providing additional features as well. Diversified economy. This is our last strategic area of focus. We are fortunate in the region to have a diversified economy in the way of when one sector might struggle a little bit, the other one can pick up. And you can see here on the slide the top 4 areas of sectors. After doing the data run just last week, you will notice on the slides from the summit, health and social services are one of our top services area as well. So we'll be doing some modifications to this. And that's part of, knowing the demographic of our region of why we are increasing the number of people working in that area. In the last bullet is tourism and hospitality and developing strategies and opportunity. And tourism and hospitality was the hardest hit. So if you go to the next slide, one of the things that we did was develop a destination development strategy in 2022. And in 23, we've been starting to implement that both on the brand development, as I mentioned earlier, and this year we were heavy into the product and experience development. And if you go to the next slide where we have the garden adventures listed, this was previously one of the areas that we had as a product. It was called Garden Trail, but we've now broadened the category a little bit to call it Garden Adventures. And so for Front of Yonge, you have one this year that was involved in that, Sherwood Forest. So that came, we had 13 gardens participating with 8 different municipalities. You go to the next slide under Fresh Baked. One of the things that our consultant had said during the destination development strategy was culinary was key for the region. So these next 2 are around culinary. So we introduced what was called Fresh Baked because everyone likes a good baked item. So this included both bakeries and cafes that serve baked goods that are made right on site, okay? So they have to be locally produced, with ideally some of the greens coming locally, but they must be made on site. So they're not coming in frozen and being reheated sort of thing. So this involved 18 businesses from 10 different municipalities. And for all of these experiences, if there's new ones that are interested, we're starting our 2024 promotional materials. We'll be looking to see if there's other companies that want to come forth. The last one was called Foodie Shop Adventures. This involved 12 businesses from 8 different municipalities. And again, we've already started to promote these on our Facebook page and Instagram page under Thousand Islands Rideau Canal Waterways. So certainly check us out, like and follow, and hope you share. In total for this year, we had 42 different sites that were engaged with us on this program in a partnership relationship, and all 13 municipalities were represented. Going forward, it's a proud moment, but there's still lots to be done in the way of what can be done. So if there's other products we'll be taking a look at, and I'll be approaching Counties Council in regards to how we reconfigure our budget a little bit to support having a tourism-related position. Unfortunately, we lost the en route contract, but now we're taking a look at how those funds could be utilized to support the strategy overall. Finally, on the last slide there, here's some of the social media, the Facebook, the posts and the website. And then on the second final slide is the social media and Facebook, Instagram. And that's my presentation for today. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of the highlights. One of the things that I have missed on is the connection with the food. In 2024, we're hoping to make a stronger food connection in the way of working with the Ontario Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs to offer some courses and to get them more in a position to be able to offer more products, get them into the farmers markets, take them from a home-based business into more of the commercial kitchens where that's opportunity, and then get them to those wholesale trade shows so that we deepen the roots of those food-related businesses in this region. So we're kind of trying to figure out how we can support them and grow from within. So, thank you. If there's any questions, Your Worship, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, thank you. Questions? Yeah, Richard.
Thank you, Ann. You know, we've talked about a few things as far as the business directory goes. And yes, the Google Maps do not work. In fact, my campground is in Lynn. I didn't know that. So we need to fix some of those things up. We've had a few of our businesses really want to use this business directory, but been a little bit stymied by some of the things that need to be corrected. Thank you for taking the effort to go through the information that we found and updated the business directory for those individual businesses. And I guess that was a bit shocking in that the businesses just seemed to walk away. And we had orphans lying out there which were no longer in the township, which had to be corrected. So it's like, almost has to be like a regular activity for somebody like the Economic Development Committee to go through that business directory and purge anybody who's no longer here. So we recognize that we have to keep our data up to speed. But I was trying to do some edits earlier today, well, actually not too long ago, and I was having a hard time editing my own campground. So either I don't know what I'm doing, which is possible, or it's a lot harder than it looks to do an edit. So I look forward to conversing with your office to see how we could change some of these things such that the businesses in the area use this much more. But key is the Google Maps. There's no way for people to find you, okay, other than get a map out and look up your address. But the Google Maps should be able to pin you, and somebody looking for a campground should be able to find me. I just used my own as an example because, I mean, there's other businesses, but I said, well, since I know more about mine, is there a timeline for addressing some of this?
So the question on the Google Maps, is that, so I might need just a little bit of information if I could. Is that specific to Google Maps overall for your business being in Lynn, or is it specific to the directory?
I was working in the directory, trying to find my business, and it came up for development purposes only, all over the page. Okay, so I said, well, that's not good. And then trying to find my business with the little red thing, it was in Lynn. Okay. So, and I tried to move it, and it went back. So it doesn't want to move. So maybe there's something I don't understand as far as secrets for making that work, but I know the Google Maps not working. I suppose that this is related.
So the first thing so our digital services, two people can help support you. One is our administrator who overlooks. So any business, with the business directory, you can have our administrator put your information in, or back end can be password and you enter your information. So, and even if that's the case, our administrator can still support. So that's just to make sure you're correct in the directory. So feel free to connect with us on that. The second is Google Maps. We have a digital support person right now in regards to Google Maps overall. And one of the biggest things that we have had to make sure businesses is literally in the right, pinned in the right location, because sometimes Google doesn't do it correctly. So we've been working with businesses, so I'll take a look at your case specific and just make sure, because it might be the root of the cause is starting with Google Maps itself, and then we may have to, because that's being fed into how it is. But we'll take a look, but that is available to businesses as our digital support person is able to help with making sure that, and that was our first early day messages, was making sure you're at least on Google Maps, because if you're not on, have any digital presence, that is a problem for any business in today's era, so yeah.
Yeah, the notice comes up right at the very beginning. Google Maps is not working.
Yes. Yeah, and that identified in the presentation that
Yeah.
we recognize that, but I want to make sure that you're incorrectly first to the base of Google Mapping too, so, yeah.
All right, well, I'll pursue that, but back to my question, is there a timeline for addressing this?
Sure, we're going to, I'll be meeting back with IT now that our summit's over to get an update. I don't have a specific timeline. My goal would be to have this done before the end of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, first of all, that door prize I won last Friday, scattered all over the region and beyond. The nuts went to Costa Rica. I opened the bag up and there's all these hands in it. Grabbing, oh, I'll take the coffee, I'll take the tea, or the ice, whatever, you know. Anyway, it was great, so that was great. Then a couple of weeks ago, we had a business get-together, networking event over at Bushel. And there were a handful of people who thanked Jeanette for the work through that small business and enterprise and connections and training and so forth. So we know that's working very well. Along with a lot of other things that you're doing. But one thing I was disappointed with county council last week was they decided not to pursue the physician recruitment program, because as we know, that helps to retain and attract people as well too. So they chose to go another direction, but just makes Anne's job a little bit harder, I think, with trying to convince people to come here. But just a comment anyway. Otherwise, yeah, there's not many people in that. What, you got 4 people in your office? 4, 5, maybe 4, 5.
Including myself right now, we're a team of 7. 3 of them are
7.
the contracts. So 2
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
2 for small business, 1 on digital services. They're all under contracts. So we have a core of 4.
4, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, you do a great job, so,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
because you're all over the place. Anything else?
Yes, I did use your digital services, not last year, but the year before. It was very good support.
All righty, thank you very much. You had a busy week, month, so you're welcome to stay, but you know, I know you can head back to the lake and check the water levels or whatever it has to be. Thanks, Ann.
Thank you.
Chief, you're up.
Well, good evening. Nice to have the new chambers. An inaugural meeting of all. You can see that the activation in October were very low compared to other months recently. And right now, even November is only about 6 or 7 calls, and we're almost through the November now. So I'm not sure what happened back in September and August when we had 30 and 32 calls, but it's much better. So we did finally do the tanker shuttle. We did get our commercial shuttle rating, which meant we flowed 400 gallons of water in 2 hours. So that's now been updated on the website of the company that provided that accreditation. And I have some forms too that I can give, maybe leave here at the Township office, and if someone wants to take it and show their insurance company that we do have. But they can go on the website as well and say, yeah, Freddie Young accredited, October 2023. So that's good for Our old agitator died at Parks Canada Dock last year in the late spring, so we have a new one for that. Again, that's part of our year-round, having that year-round water source is part of our program to have that tanker shuttle. To the total hours for the year, they were quite substantial. Thanks to the clause of the agreement, the wage was bumped up to $16.50. Otherwise, it would have been quite low. Again, the hours do not include the hours for firefighter one.
Just to,
Yeah, the firefighter one,
$1,400 over budget, which is pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close on that. That's with the honorariums for the hazmat course and all the hazmat is done as well, so yes, it was good. This Saturday is our banquet. The only person I hadn't heard from was Carson, but I'm not sure now he's going to make it or not. He's the only one who never got back to me. So we formed a training committee back in October. We had a kickoff meeting. We have another meeting next week. Again, trying to distribute the workload that's associated with training. So it's just becoming too much for one or two people. So we're going to try to do by committee instead. So hopefully we can get that up and running in the new year and take some of the pressure off a few individuals. I did complete a draft of the ENR bylaw. It was sent out for some comments, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So I'm not sure I should send that to council members as well, or to you, Jen, to look at as well. But before we go any further, just make sure I'm on the right track. Okay. You can see the training we did in September and October. A lot of October was a lot of planning for the hazmat course. Again, that was 2 more weekends, so a lot of planning on meals and setups and support for the course that went off quite well. Everybody passed all their skills, and again, we'll have to wait now to see how the exams went, and probably a couple weeks or a couple months before we hear that. We do have a couple courses coming up in early 2024. We have 2 firefighters who have stepped up and want to take the Officer 1 course, which is great. And some of our new folks are going to start the DZ endorsements for being able to drive the large vehicles in the new year as well. Fire prevention, we had a great day with the kids back in October. How many kids? We had 140? No. 100 altogether? No?
It was 114,
Okay, that was close.
unless I missed some.
They all had a great day. Jen did a good job in the presentation to all the kids, and then we did a couple of extrication for the older kids, and the younger kids got to knock down the pretend flame with our little mock-up, so that was good. They also did, we provided public education at the ag event, fire prevention and week activities, different parade meetings, fire prevention calendar. We finally finished that off and mailed it out, and did do some door-to-door smoke and CO canvassing as well in the village. And we picked up Sparky for the parade, so he's ready to go for the parade. Is he going to go in the buggy, or is he going to walk, or do you know?
I turned him over to Stephanie,
Okay,
and she's supposed to be training her son on how to use them.
okay.
I told her all the ins and outs of getting the eyes to work and the jaw to work and whatever. She said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll figure it out." So
And we're going to I have put an email out to the firefighters, and we got most of the trucks are filled up for drivers for the parade. Any questions?
Know this ahead of time, so you both, yeah.
I'd just like to say thank you to Councillor Williams for helping with the
Baggies.
the bagging. Getting all those little pieces into bags and breaking them down by age group and so forth can twist the brain quite a lot. Thank you very much.
It was a good exercise.
You're very welcome.
114 kids, that's pretty good.
Well, each bag has different things depending on the age group. So you had, one of these, and then now we're in the next group. So it's one of these, one of these, and so it was. Yes, it's quite challenging. But,
It was a team effort.
team effort. We got it done though, and I think I didn't hear any complaints, so we must have got all the numbers right. So it's a good thing.
The agitator, we bought the new one, so how much does that cost?
1,300.
Okay.
Last year we had some problem with the breaker that we plugged into, so Parks Canada under their own dollar, put a whole new breaker system in and an outdoor plug with a GFI on it for us. So we can, before you had something happen, you had to go inside the building, so we had to go get them to get a key to go in. Now it's all outside external, so if something happens, we can reset it ourselves. So Kent Dowsley took care of that for us, so it's nice of them.
That's good, okay. Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, thank you very much. Good, see you Saturday.
Greg, just to let you know, council last meeting did approve for the potluck dinner. Do you have refreshments? Okay.
Very much.
All right, thank you. Do any members of council have questions under council directives items 1 through 9? And if not, I will carry on to item 10. The Emergency Management Program Committee has been discussing potential items to apply for under the Community Emergency Preparedness Grant. Some of the suggestions include a generator for both the Rhodes Garage and the Community Center, as well as a two-way radio and a drone. Both of those items would be for the fire department. And Councillor Fancy, she's not here this evening, but she had mentioned that we could also apply for funds to cover seniors' kits. And the grant is between $5,000 and $50,000, targeted at small and medium communities. That fits right in line for front of Yonge Township. The applicants must demonstrate a need, capacity, and alignment with the program objectives. We have until November 30th at 5 p.m. to apply. So if any members of council have any other suggestions that for items we could apply for, or if you have any comments about what has been suggested.
Who's taking the lead on getting this application in, since November 30th is just around the corner?
We'll be working with Ron.
With Ron? Okay.
And those weren't just generators, those are
The
Generac.
Generac.
Systems, or, I mean, that's a brand name, but it's something similar to that. Okay. Anything on that? No? Good. And your action plan is,
There are no updates to
no
the
updates?
action
Okay,
plan.
all right. Okay, I got a couple motions, I'm sliding behind here. So the first one is moved by Richard Marcoux, second by Gail Williams, that council accept the fire chief's report. All in favor? Carries. Moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that council accept the clerk's report and action plan. All in favor? Carries. And we're going to defer item 7.3, the church. So we go to 7.4, your report on the chief building officials.
Should we still table that motion since it was tabled last time?
Is there a motion there? Oh, there is. Well, yeah, we can table it or defer it, whatever. We can table it, I guess, yeah. So it's moved by Richard Marcoux and second by Gail Williams that the clerk's report regarding the estimates for the Young Mills Stone Church be received. So if you agree, we're going to table that till next meeting, right?
There's a part 2 of that, right? I was not around for.
Yeah, to suggest that we proceed, but we're going to discuss that during the
We'll
next
just
meeting.
combine the two together?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that the clerk's report regarding the chief building official services be received, and that council direct the clerk to continue discussions with the Township of Elizabethtown Kitley with respect to the sharing of the chief building official services.
So just to provide an overview of my report, Ernest Taychuk, our current chief building official, has announced his retirement for no later than June 1st of next year. And Elizabethtown Kitley actually heard of his impending retirement and had reached out to staff to offer their current services in their department to share services. And we were quite interested, and I had a meeting with the CAO and the CBO last week, or 2 weeks ago rather. And they're interested as well, and so the two townships are just going to seek support from the council to continue with discussions on moving forward with the proposal of sharing services with Elizabethtown Kitley.
We have but until June, when Ernest is retiring,
Well,
or sooner?
he said sooner if
If
we can
somebody.
find, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering what the timetable was looking like.
He said he would stay until June,
Right.
but his preference would be earlier.
Like, is he going to be gone next week? Or?
No, he will stay if he needs to until June.
Yeah, because he must have some inspections ongoing. Is he going to try to finish those off?
I don't know how that would work, because as he's closing files, new applications are coming in. So I think it would just have to be a matter of including that in the transition.
Okay, but we're going to get some heads up, right?
Yes.
Like, he's not going to be gone tomorrow.
No.
Type thing.
No.
Okay.
So how long has this CBO been at Elizabethtown Kitley?
Their current CBO has been there for a number of years. I'd
Okay.
say as long as Ernest has been here.
Okay.
And they also have a staff of 2 others.
Okay. Moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that clerk's report regarding the CBO's services be received, and the council direct the clerk to continue discussions with the Township of Elizabethtown Kitley with respect to sharing the chief building official services. All in favor? Carries. Oh, shoot. I tabled it, stamped. Wrong stamp. For those who are there, that's shoot with 2 O's. Okay. Planners report, moved by Richard Marcoux, second by Gail Williams, that the planners report regarding official plan amendment number 2, additional lot creation be received. Good report. Any further comments on that? We discussed it quite a bit last time. None? All in favor? Carries. Moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that adoption bylaw for amendment number 2, additional lot creation to the official plan of the Township of Front of Yonge be read a first and second time. All in favor? Carries.
Amendment number 2, additional lot creation to the official plan of the Township of Front of Yonge, Shortway.
Moved by Richard Marcoux, second by Gail Williams, that adoption bylaw for amendment number 2, additional lot creation to the official plan of the Township of Front of Yonge be read a third and final time, numbered as bylaw 30-23, signed by the mayor and clerk, seal with the corporate seal, and engrossed in the bylaw book. Any further comments or questions? Richard?
My only thought is, do we want the other 2 councillors to be participating in this, or?
I think we had a pretty good discussion on it last time when we were here, so I think it'll fly okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Get it off to the counties as soon as we can, right? Okay.
Amendment number 2, additional lot creation to the official plan of the Township of Front of Yonge, Shortway. On item 9.2, health and safety policy. Moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that a bylaw to adopt a health and safety policy be read a first and second time. All in favor? Carries. A bylaw to adopt health and safety policies, Shortway.
And moved by Richard Marcoux, second by Gail Williams, that a bylaw to adopt a health and safety policy be read a third and final time, numbered as bylaw number 31-23, signed by the mayor and clerk, sealed with the corporate seal, and engrossed in the bylaw book. Other comments? I have one. In the return to work policy, you would, the sentence was altered, but it doesn't read properly. I'll show you where it says, however, while, those two words should be removed. Okay, so we just, it says, however, while the township will make reasonable efforts to accommodate disabled workers in accordance with the Human Rights Code. If you just take however, while out of there, then. Okay, so third and final reading. Oh,
Question.
sorry, go ahead.
Just a question. Are we also talking about the training on 9.2? Is that part of this whole package? Okay, so I notice in there that there's a bullet 3, 4, 5 down, 6 down, called the fire safety plan, and the use of rescue equipment where applicable. So such training would have to be given by who? Sorry, it's agenda item 9.2. Yeah, procedure. And it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets.
Would, where applicable, suggest by the firefighters or whomever they,
It could. I would imagine it would be left up to the department head to organize. If it's something the fire department could do, that would be welcome.
Well, I mean, we of course would be very willing to help, as if a department head found that they're in the predicament that they don't know what to do. Of course, they could reach out to us, and we would work together to show them how to construct such a plan. Keeping in mind that the plan is an annual thing, has to be reviewed on an annual basis. Okay.
so these fire safety plans, we're talking about all the plans, like for the landfill site, the coach hose, all the plans?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. And use of rescue equipment, well, we don't have any rescue equipment other than at the fire hall.
Yes, but I mean, who knows what might occur in the future
Yeah.
for, say, at the building, at the roads building. I think it's generic at this point. I
Yeah.
mean, it's, you would need to make sure that people are appropriately trained. Whatever. It might be possible one day that you have some equipment out at the landfill.
Yeah, okay. So I think all those things have to work in conjunction with, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay. All right. Any other comments on that then? No? Okay, so the third reading numbered as bylaw 3123 with amendments to the return to work policy. Right, with that one sentence being corrected? Okay, all in favor? Carries.
Bylaw to adopt health and safety policies, short way.
Oh. Stepping aside from the Young and Blue Committee,
It's Neeltje, Vanderlaan.
okay. So moved by Gail Williams and second by Richard Marcoux that council accept Neeltje Vanderlaan's resignation from the Young and Blue Committee with regrets. Sorry to hear about that.
We were too.
Okay, all in favor of accepting this? Let's see. Resolutions, non-communications, Leeds and Thousand Islands are amending their official plan. Is there anything there that jumps out at us? No? Announcements, anybody have any?
Sorry, I had a question about that. Why are they consulting with us on their official plan?
Because they're obliged by legislation to
Oh, it's a, okay.
notify their neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Notices of motion. Public, we had a slight glitch in our technical setup earlier, but hopefully if you are able to join us, and if there are any questions, please call Jennifer in the morning or tomorrow. We do have an in-camera meeting. So moved by Gail Williams, second by Richard Marcoux, that council go in camera to discuss advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. All in favor? Carries. And now we'll sign off the video virtual part of the meeting.